Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PES World League Finals. It is time for 4 more of our players to go head-to-head. We've said goodbye to the majority of the field because we started with 16, and now these last players are on the cusp of walking away with at least $50,000, possibly more. Out of the 4 we have left, only 1 will walk away with nothing, and we are about to decide which ones of those qualify for that very bad position. But my name is Bryce, and I am not alone to bring you the action for all of the rest of these games. I am joined by our desk for this one to bring you commentary and analysis this time around. Ton and Adam. Guys, how are you?
Very well. It's been a truly breathtaking day already. We've seen so much talent on show. Do you feel personally that we've got the best 4 here out of the 16, or do you think you've seen some players go out that have unlucky to do so?
I think looking at it, you know, Jose going up against O'Neill, I mean, I caught the back end of that game, and O'Neill basically won it with the last kick of the game and did a lap of the suite that way. I was currently in Arsenal Stadium, and it was sensational, to say the least. But it's nice to see, you know, I mean, a couple of players are like, yeah, a little fist pump after, but he goes crazy. So I'm really interested to see what we're going to see in the semi-final, but trying not to completely avoid your question. Jose going out is a little bit of a surprise to me. Not surprised that he lost to O'Neill, but this sort of stage of the competition, I'd still expect him to be in there.
Here's an interesting thing for me about the game we're going to come up with next. Ettorito. Only been beaten twice so far, both by Tiamat. Tiamat's out of this competition again. Tiamat must be very, very frustrated. The guy he has beaten twice in groups, which is consistent, has made it further than him in every single knockout stage.
I mean, that just shows testament that their play styles obviously match Tiamat quite well. Yeah. It must work out that he just plays well against players that play how Ettorito do.
Well, this brings me on to my next point. O'Neill is a veteran who will have been watching Ettorito and his progress so far. We have talked about him an awful lot. Has O'Neill taken this hint that he needs to find a counter to Ettorito? Because that is his next game coming up, Ettorito versus O'Neill. And we know Ettorito is probably most famed for scoring an incredible amount of goals in his games.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, looking at the two playing against each other, they have a very similar style, and this is where it's because we mentioned the player who's beaten Ettorito twice in Tiamat has a different style to O'Neill. O'Neill is a much more free-flowing, attacking football, much like Ettorito. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's almost personally going to be a case of who can outscore as opposed to looking to manage the game in that way.
I mean, we're absolutely in for an entertaining game. You know, these two guys can really go hammer and toe against each other. It's going to be an interesting one, though. As said, it's just literally, I mean, obviously, that is the golden rule of football. Whoever scores more goals wins. But there is going to be a lot of goals here, and it really is going to come down to whoever can do it better.
They have a similar play style, but who is better at it? For me, personally, I've got to say, if you're going to play an aggressive, free-flowing style of football, is there any better than Ettorito?
It's hard to say, and I think you bring up a valid point that if these two guys have the style, you know, to be attacking players, Ettorito is definitely, you would say, the standout player in the whole of PES, to be honest with you, like that. Because what we've seen him do at Anfield, we've never seen anything like that before. It was unbelievable.
Like we mentioned, especially the 2 games, the 12-4, well, the 10-2 in Anfield, and then here, I believe, the 9-1.
Well, yeah, just had a 9-1
He's starting
game.
to warm up now, isn't he? Yeah.
It's unheard of in the PES League, to be honest, at this stage, when all these 16 players are the best in the world. It's not a person who's, you know, new to the game. These are all really good veterans, you know, at PES 2017.
O'Neill's a veteran as well, and you're going to ask yourself here, maybe the key for O'Neill here is to just not go behind early. It cannot allow Ettorito to build up that head of steam, because once 1 or 2 have gone in, you know he's going to go for 7.
Well, we've seen the two games he got beat by Tiamat, he went behind first. Every game he's gone in front, he's won. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see.
All right, well, let's find out. This game is underway. Oh my goodness. Over to you guys for the commentary.
Well, that just goes to show exactly what we were talking about. And Ettorito has taken just 2 minutes to take the lead in this semi-final. Unbelievable, Ton.
Crazy, crazy start. I mean, we didn't even get handed over. And Bryce, he was commentating for a second. But we just moved into it, and he's already scored a goal. And I was going to add to the point. I know we got into the game quickly, but surely, I mean, does O'Neal need to look at it and say, let's change up my game a little bit, play a little bit more passively? He can't do that
Trouble
anymore.
is, that's the point. He can't do that anymore. He is behind, and he's going to. I mean, it is a two-legged game, so it's not. He doesn't need to rush, and you know, because if he does and opens himself up, we know that Ettorito is one of the best in the business at, you know, really making you pay for that.
Absolutely. We can see Neymar pushing down this left-hand side, and Ettorito just playing the possession game for now, maybe trying to settle it down, or is he Suarez looking for Messi, not quite getting the ball through there, but Iniesta in control for Ettorito.
So 10 minutes gone here. It's Ettorito 1, O'Neal 0. This is, of course, the winner of the regional finals at Anfield versus the runner-up in Barcelona. So both of them doing very, very well to get here and have stormed through the tournament, really. Of course, Ettorito had a slightly easier quarterfinals in terms of scoreline. O'Neal taking the last kick of the match to qualify for this stage as Neymar plays it around the corner towards Luis Suarez. Ettorito looking for the second goal, which will give him a nice cushion, but good defending from the man from the Netherlands, O'Neal, and forward towards the halfway line. Neymar turns away. Lovely play from the Brazilian. Forward towards Vidal, who plays it down the line back to the Brazilian, but cleared by Ettorito. What have you seen so far other than that lightning start? It's been a bit more cagey, hasn't it?
It has been, but I still think that Ettorito, undoubtedly, even with that goal, has been the better player. It's down out to Neymar, left-hand side of the box, looking for the cross in. Messi has got a free header. That is 2-0 now, and it's all too easy for Ettorito. I was about to say, after that first goal, it's calmed down a little bit, but he seems to have been in control. But there you go, once again, it just seems as if he flicks a switch and he decides when he's able to score a goal.
So it's Ettorito 2, O'Neal 0. It's taken just 90 minutes in this first leg.
Look at
and
this.
The man from Italy is storming his way towards the PES League World Finals final here, Ton. Is there anything O'Neal can do to turn this tide?
It's just so strong. Attacking play from Ettorito. Every single time he's going forward, he's creating so many problems, and O'Neal needs to answer back quickly. This could be the answer to that. Neymar looking for the cross in.
Lionel Messi just headed away. 20 minutes gone here, Tom. This has been an absolutely incredible performance so far from the man from Italy.
Yeah, every single time he's attacked, it's just looked like curtains for O'Neal, unfortunately. You know, with that crazy win, and he's just have that momentum, you thought it might have carried him through, really ready for this game, but Ettorito has come flying into it himself. 3-0 already.
So it's a free kick, just a slight lull in proceedings as we get a little close-up, deep in thought. Italy versus the Netherlands here in this semi-final. Of course, the other semi-final will be Jonas versus Guifera, Peru versus Brazil. So one of the Americas will be in the final with one from Europe as the ball's played across the face and caught by ter Stegen halfway through the first half. Pretty much a pattern turned out so far, Tom.
Yeah, every single time he goes forward, it seems to be the cross that he's really looking for. A couple of his goals have been headers, and this could be a fourth here with Messi. He's going to lay it off to Iniesta, and it's just so easy.
He is using that cross so many times, isn't he?
Yeah, it's always that final little pass, and he's just putting himself in a great position. He's putting himself in a place where he just scores sitters. Essentially, that's it, isn't it? I mean, they're being good teamwork goals, but I've not seen him really score any goals from outside of the box. It's essentially builds up. His play is fantastic. The passing's fantastic. And every single time the ball goes in the box, the ball goes in the back of the net too. So this moment in time, it's a upward struggle for O'Neal.
Tactics-wise, what does O'Neal need to do to turn this game?
Well, he needs to score some goals. I mean, that's it, obviously. But at the same time, I think, for me, I don't know, because it's such a difficult position to be in, because you want to attack, but the more you attack, the more you leave yourself open, which is being clear to see from the start. A fantastic start by Ettorito, and since then, O'Neal's like, oh, God, I really need to push on and score some goals here. We haven't, you know, I need to catch up. And it's suddenly just opening things up. He's on the attack here now. Suarez is going to get in there. He's going to get a goal back on the board.
From Luis Suarez, and that is a lifeline there for the man from the Netherlands. Very calm and composed on the ball there, considering he's 4-0 down. He didn't rush that attack at all, but Ettorito comes straight back up the other side, across towards Neymar. He's used that so many times, that cross towards the back post, and Neymar has been there on a handful of occasions to give him a 4-1 lead at the moment. Play through towards Iniesta.
Oh.
He's in again. He's round the goalkeeper, but it's trickled the wrong side of the post. and it is breathtaking to watch the man from Italy play at the moment.
Yeah, it's just sublime Pro Evolution Soccer. That's all it is. Playing it so well every single time. The chip in is always working for him. Every single time he's pushing forward, he looks like he's going to score. Yeah, with Neymar as well. Rakitic needs to slow this one down, playing a little bit more passively. Neymar out to Iniesta. He'll be a guy looking to see if he can put a ball in. Let's see what Vidal can do.
Just play through towards Rakitic, in towards Neymar,
it's
into Suarez.
ridiculous.
Wonderful football from the man from Italy. But this time the goalkeeper makes a save, still piling on the pressure. Neymar with a back header in off the foot of the post. And it's Ettorito 5, O'Neill 1 in his first leg of the semi-finals of the PES League World Finals.
It's not even necessarily cross, he just chips in. And this is going to be a chance for O'Neill, though. Can he get another one back here? Surely going to be able to with Messi. Yes, he is. This one
Great response.
It's not necessarily over, but O'Neill is in such a tough position. Fantastic work by Ettorito. And as I said, those crosses are coming in, but it's little chip balls in and around the 18-yard line that just seem to get through every single time. The defence can't deal with them. And suddenly it's 5-2.
It seems to be only one person has been able to work out Ettorito's game, and that is Tiamat.
The thing is, he can't work anyone else's game out, though. It seems to just be Ettorito.
Yeah, as Rakitic wins the ball back. O'Neill still a long way to go, though. A lot of time left in this match to get back into this match as Rakitic's shot is panel wide of the target and out of play for a corner to be taken by Rakitic here on the near touchline. 48 minutes gone in this first leg. Well over, three-quarters of this tie still to go, so a long time. Vidal down this right-hand side finds Rakitic. Chance to possibly get the cross in. It's blocked by Ettorito, out of play for a throw. And it's been a bright start from O'Neill in the second half.
My only sort of saving grace for O'Neill now is that I don't think Ettorito will ever turn around and play defensive, clearly. It's 5-2 up with only 50 minutes gone. He's never going to play defensive, so there's going to be opportunities for O'Neill to score goals because he's going to be stretched. It's as simple as that. Ettorito does not slow down, but and he's not going to do that so far.
I was going to say, but at the same time, he's going to leave himself open at some point, because at some point he's going to have to chase this game as Iniesta goes through, but the flag is raised. Another tight decision there as we tick into the final sort of half an hour or so, just over, of this first leg, second half.
What a ball that is. I think Messi just about make it there as well. He will. The ball in. It's going to be from Vidal. Chips in towards Suarez. Not close enough though, and cleared away. Messi going to try and win the header. Never going to happen against Mathieu, who's going to clear this one into the middle of the pitch for Rakitic. But it seems to be won very, very well every single time by Ettorito. That's a good turn by Messi though. He's going to try and get the ball into the box here. Suarez is not going to be the first one there. Piqué heads it away with a crucial clearance. But O'Neill putting some pressure on, getting into this game a little bit more here.
Yeah, it's really good pressure here from the man from the Netherlands as he looks for a third goal, which would make things a little bit more interesting here, because only 2 goals with another game to go. Certainly not out of this tie at this moment in time, but he does need, you feel, the next goal. Otherwise, a 4-goal cushion would surely be would be unsurmountable, you feel.
Vidal down the right-hand side for Ettorito. Looking for the pass to Suarez. Watch for the chip. It's not going to happen this time round. It is going to be cleared away. Messi down the right-hand side. Going to look on the inside, though, to Iniesta. Trying to spread towards Neymar. You can see which way he's trying to go, but eventually ends up with Messi, and he's going to send it out of Vidal. And this is the position Ettorito likes to play from.
So it's Vidal on this right-hand side, finds it through to Iniesta. Chance to play it across the face. It's Rakitic. Great defending there from O'Neill to clear the danger as Lionel Messi. Chance to counter. No. Snuffed out there from Ettorito as he looks to mount another attack. He only knows one way, doesn't he, Tom?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that said, I still think that could potentially be the route back in for O'Neill. The thing is, Ettorito is definitely going to score again if he keeps on attacking. There's literally no doubt about it. So that is going to open things up for O'Neill, but he needs to start taking some chances. He's had a fair amount of possession in the second half, more than he had in the first. He might be able to do something with it, but he needs to start doing something with it fairly soon. We're 70 minutes into the first game, 3-goal deficit.
So Iniesta finds Rakitic, through ball towards Luis Suarez. Another chance here for Ettorito. Good defending.
Oh.
That's a poor bit of skill there from the goalkeeper. And what on earth was happening there?
Just about manages to get away with that there, and O'Neill is still somewhat in this game. It's going to be
hard in your mouth moment that ton as the ball.
Yeah, it's one of them moments that could have been really, really bad.
That's not what you don't want to gift Ettorito a chance, do you?
No. And I'm surprised he didn't take it, if anything, but O'Neal just trying to control this game. The more that Ettorito doesn't have the ball, the less goals he can score and extend his lead. But O'Neal might be able to do something himself here. Going to lose it though around the 18-yard line, and that is a bad challenge.
Cynical challenge on the halfway line. Certainly been a better performance in the second half from O'Neal. Has he left it a little too late, do you feel, or do you still think there's legs in this?
I think maybe Ettorito is potentially just taking his foot off the gas here and just maybe sort of thought, right, okay, 3-goal cushion, that'll do for now, and sort of just soaked up the pressure. But O'Neal hasn't been able to do anything with the pressure that he's allowing him to have. Again, another foul in the middle of the pitch there, not going to help him whatsoever. He needs to do something with the possession that he's had in this second half.
So 5-2 here to Ettorito. As we tick into that final 15 minutes, a few changes to try and see this out for Ettorito. A few changes for O'Neal to try and change the tide and get back into the match. A goal, like I mentioned, to make it 5-3 would definitely give him a foothold going into this second leg, because we know he can score goals. It was always a case of whether he could stop Ettorito. In this first leg, he hasn't been able to, but if he can find a way in the second leg and score goals like we know he can, he's definitely still in this match. As Thuram plays it through towards Lionel Messi. It's ricocheted back. He's got lucky there, Ettorito, but just in the end, the defender did enough.
Just about, and O'Neal is going to survive once again. I think, you know, he gets another goal. You're thinking potentially he might be able to come back into it. He needs to slow the next game down for me. I think playing at this fast pace, Ettorito is just better at it than him. It's as simple as that, and it's going to be very, very hard to match him. This moment in time, the first half he tried to match him, and it has not worked at all.
So we have 10 minutes remaining in this game, and it's a really important 10 minutes for both of these players. If O'Neal can get a goal, it would make things really, really interesting going into this second leg. If Ettorito can hold out or get another, then it could just be that enough to get him through to the final here after the second leg, which is coming up straight after this as Lionel Messi plays it back to Arda Turan, back to Lionel Messi, in towards the edge of the area, but good defending in the end from O'Neal as the ball's played over the top, and the goalkeeper comes out to make the save. 5 minutes time, can he do it? O'Neal needs a goal, doesn't he?
He needs a goal badly. Saying that, we still obviously have the second 90 minutes where there'll be potential for him to bring it back. But at the same time, I think he needs to use what little time he has and try and get something back here. The ball in towards Turan is good.
So Arda Turan twisting, turning, good challenge in the end. It's well kept on there. It looked like it was going to go out for a corner as it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Remember, O'Neal's no stranger to a lot of goals. I believe he's beat Ruben 6-1 in one of the regional games. So of course he can do it. It's just a case of whether he can do it on this stage in the second leg, because as we tick into the final few seconds here in this first leg, it has finished Ettorito 5, O'Neal 2. Advantage and 1 foot in the final for Ettorito.